Today we have towing mirrors, and these are going to be replacement mirrors for the 2014 Silverado stock mirrors that we have up there. These are heated and they're powered, and it's real important if you guys get towing mirrors that you get mirrors with the same equipment as what you're taking off. So like I said, these are heated and powered. The mirrors that I have in the truck are heated and powered. They have other versions of the mirror that are have turn signals and have electric folding. If you get those mirrors and you don't have that equipment on your truck already, one, the options won't work, and two, my understanding is they have a different plug, and you may actually lose options by getting that type of mirror if you don't have that equipment already in your truck. So get whatever mirrors you get the same equipment that you already have on your truck. It's really important. As I've noticed with most of the manufacturers, and not just with GM, with the advent of backup cameras, everyone's kind of gone with a smaller mirror, and the problem with this is it's just too big of a truck with too small of a mirror, and as I find myself towing and even just backing up in the parking spaces, I lose sight of important things. So even though this has a little blind spot mirror on here, which is helpful, overall they're just too small, and I think with all the forums and stuff that are out there, that seems to be a lot of people's opinion about these mirrors. They're not bad, they're adequate, just too small. So one of the other things is, although backup cameras are good, this is what happens sometimes when you use your backup camera, not your mirror. Backup camera doesn't look at the side of the vehicle unless you got some of those newer Fords. I guess they have that on there, but in any case, those mirrors are coming off, these are going on, and we're going to get started. Okay, so what's going to happen is this door panel has to come off, as well as some of the trim that's around the door, and I'll bring the camera in a little closer. Door panel, and then this molding all the way up to this piece here. In order to get the old mirror off and the new mirror on, there's 3 bolts on this that'll come off with the wiring harness, so the old one will just come off, the new one will just come on. So to get that started, and actually have it started a little bit, there's a clip here that has to come out, and there's also one here behind the door, and all that's needed, and let's see if I can get the camera on that, is a tool like this with a sharp end, and there's just a little piece right up in there. I know the camera's not picking it up, but you guys get the idea. It just kind of comes off like that. So once you get the panels off, just grab a 7mm bit. I'm using on my 3/8 driver here, and there's 3 bolts to take off. So they come off pretty easy. You guys can see it better. There's one here and 2 on the bottom part that I'll show you here in just a sec. Just get it off with your fingers. There you go. They're just these guys here. So 1 there, and let me take this off the tripod. And 2 in there. I've got 1 out already, and there's 1 more to go. Okay, now we're at the bottom of the door, and I'll zoom in here a little bit, and I get the light to pick it up there. There's a couple of more bolts down here. There's 1 there, another one down there. That'll also need to come out. Okay, so next is to remove this panel here. If you have a plastic pry tool, it might be a little better. I just have a flathead screwdriver. And it's just a matter of kind of getting up in here. I've got it started already, and just starting to pop the little plastic tabs out. Gentle. It's just not sure what material that is. It feels like plastic, although apparently there's some sort of metal in there. But start to work on that. Applying only as much pressure as needed, so you don't rip the tabs or break anything. So once you get it off, as you can see, there's just metal tabs here and plastic tabs on the ends here, just holding it in place. And then right up in here, let's see if I get the camera to show it, there's another 7mm bolt to remove. There it goes. And just take that out. Okay, so once you have all of the bolts out of here, it's just a matter of coming up either on this side or up underneath and start to pry off the clips that are out here. It will take a little bit of influence, maybe getting your knee up on the door there. There we go. I think I got them all off, except for the top here. And what you want to do is you want to be careful, because all these wiring harnesses and stuff that are attached to all the buttons and the mirror is still attached. And then it's a matter of lifting up over this. I may go back and lower my window to make it a little bit easier. It just kind of comes up like that. There we go. That part's off. So what we have is the mechanism for the door, wiring harness for the controls, and the wiring harness for the mirror. So you can kind of do this one of two ways. You can either take this and leave it the way it is and support it on something so you're not straining your wires, or you can undo these different components and put this off to the side. Either way is okay, it's up to you. Okay, so there's a little clip here. There's also one on the far side over here off camera that you'll need to take off both if you want to take this whole assembly off. If you just want to take this part off, because this is all you really need to access, you just need to pull this clip off. And in the same manner, just start to pry and pull this away. And again, this whole thing will want to come off with it. It depends how far you want to go with it. If you're okay with just moving out of the way and accessing 3 bolts, you can do that. If you want to remove the whole thing and have a little bit cleaner workspace, that's okay as well. So once you get this area exposed, we got the wiring harness that comes down there. There's just a little tab. See if I can get it here. I'm hitting it with my thumb. Just push that down and this comes out. Hopefully I can do it with one hand here with the camera. There it goes. Little tab right in there, hitting with the thumb. That comes off, and then we have 10mm bolts. These just come off. Just gonna loosen them up here on camera. I'll take the rest off camera, but so you get the idea. And then I recommend either having another person or opening up the window, because once you loosen these, that mirror's going to want to come off. So do that next. Once you get all the bolts on the back side here, there's a little clip on this that wants to stay in place. Just pops out just like that. Pull that, pull your harness through, and you have your old mirror set. So here's the back side of the new mirror. Wiring harness, same 3 bolts. Don't forget to take these off or it won't fit through the holes. You're basically gonna run it back through in the same way that we just took the old one off. Get those bolts out of the way here. And just like we took the other one, we're going to put the wiring harness through. Sorry, this last bolt's being a little stubborn. There it goes. We're going to take our wiring harness, run that through, run the tabs through, and line up our bolts. Put that in place. Now we have to go off camera and get to the other side to put the first couple of screws in so it stays in place. So back in a moment. Okay, so what I've decided to do is reuse the nuts that came off the factory mirror. These have a real nice big washer on them. Nothing wrong with the ones that came with the kit, just these are a little bit better, I think. And I'm just going to put these back on. They work just the same thread and everything. Put those on. We'll tighten those up with the ratchet. Take these tabs. We're going to pop these back in where the old ones were, just like that, all the way down. And then we're going to plug in our harness back into the socket here. Next up is to replace this piece and pop these tabs back in on both sides. And replace that, make sure that the seal is on the outside, and you're going to want to run that through the whole gamma here as you put the trim back onto the door. If you have to put it on and get it clipped in, that side's almost clipped in, you can come back with your pry tool or screwdriver and you can kind of flip that back out. As you're putting in this piece of trim, and after you've made sure that your weather strip here is flared out, make sure that this wraps around up underneath the door frame all the way around so that it seats correctly. If you don't do that, it won't seat right. And once you get that on, it's a matter of getting the door trim and panel back onto the door. Alright, this far I just have the door trim just kind of resting on top of the door. I haven't popped any of the clips in. The trickiest part is probably just kind of centering this lock back into it. It's a little easier when it's in the up position. Make sure that, you know, your seams, this was a tough one here, and this was a little bit tough one here. Make sure these get in and then pushed in, otherwise you'll start scratching and scuffing this stuff up here. And make sure that, you know, this part of the weather strip here on the other side, the inside part of the window, is seated correctly. And once you get all that, there's just little tabs that we popped out. Just basically gets lined up and pop back in like that all the way around the door. Alright, here's what the completed product looks like. All the bolts are in and all of the panels are back on. Here's the mirrors. I'm starting to lose a little bit of daylight here. Give you a front shot of what she looks like. Come around, I just finished up the other side. See if I can come back a little bit. Get the tripod out of the way. So I think I'm going to be pretty happy. It looked pretty good so far. I gave them a quick little test. They do function. Here's what the inside is going to look like. And do the power function here. I'll have to do some adjusting on the other side. that's what I got there. Flip the side over. So I'll do some playing with that. See if I can get this one-handed. A little tough one-handed, but they do telescope. So we got that as well for when I tow the boat. Well guys, that's how you install towing mirrors on a 2014 Silverado. See you next time.